Why chuck eye steak is popular among butchers for flavor and value reveals what makes this cut a go-to in professional shops. We'll pull back the curtain on the butcher's personal stash, and explain how its anatomical proximity to pricier cuts gives it a flavor edge that still fits a budget. From rising popularity among modern butchers to the economics of delivering premium flavor at budget prices, this video ties history, skill, and market demand together. If you're curious about how rarity, versatility, and professional pride shape a cut that tastes like a premium steak without the sticker shock, you're in the right place. 1. The secret behind butcher's personal stash. There's a fascinating legend that many professional butchers have been living by for decades. Butchers have long removed this cut from the end of the chuck primal to save for themselves, and for good reason. This tradition has earned chuck eye steak the nickname, the butcher's steak, among industry insiders who understand its hidden value. The reason behind this practice isn't just sentimentality. As long as you keep it cooked medium or below, chuck eye steak can be a juicy, flavorful cut just like the more expensive ribeye. Butchers recognized early on that this particular cut offered premium flavor characteristics without the premium price tag that customers typically associate with high-end steaks. 2. Anatomical proximity creates premium flavor. The chuck eye steak sits directly on the ribeye and therefore has more or less the same properties. The meat is slightly fattier, but that also provides more flavor. This anatomical connection isn't just a coincidence. It's the foundation of the chuck eye's appeal to meat professionals. When we bone out the chuck, we take those first 3 inches of the chuck roast and take out just the eye part, that same muscle that is the ribeye, and cut 3 steaks out of it, Heisker said. It's the same muscle structure as the ribeye but farther up in the shoulder. This shared muscle structure means that chuck eye inherits many of ribeye's desirable characteristics while maintaining its own unique appeal. Only meat from the 6th to 12th rib of the beef may be sold as rib eye. Chuck eye is located at the 5th rib and is therefore having its own party. 3. Rising popularity among modern seam butchers. The increasing popularity of chuck eye steaks among professional butchers relates directly to evolving butchery techniques. Heisker said one reason the chuck eyes are becoming more popular is because they're more readily separated out from the rest of the chuck section than they were before. This represents a significant shift in how butchers approach meat processing. At Porter Road, we practice a style of butchering called seam butchery. As the name suggests, this style of butchering is defined by the fact that we cut along the natural seams between muscles rather than using a saw to create slices that contain multiple muscle groups or large roasts. This meticulous approach allows butchers to extract premium cuts that would otherwise become part of larger, less valuable roasts. Separating those muscles into separate cuts, a process called seam butchery, gives you the cuts like chuck eye steaks that would normally just have been glommed into chuck roasts. 4. The economics of premium flavor at budget prices. The financial appeal of chuck eye steak for both butchers and customers creates a win-win situation. Chuck eye steak typically costs significantly less than ribeye steak, often providing substantial savings for consumers. A chuck steak is a less expensive cut of meat than a ribeye. Referred to as a poor man's ribeye, it has similar characteristics but does not cost as much and can cost nearly half of what the ribeye does. This dramatic price difference allows butchers to offer customers exceptional value while maintaining healthy profit margins on a cut that requires specialized knowledge to extract properly. 5. Rarity creates exclusivity and value. The scarcity of chuck eye steaks contributes significantly to their appeal among butchers. This is because there are only 2 chuck eye steaks per cow, so they tend to get bought up rather quickly, sometimes by the butchers themselves. This limited availability per animal makes each chuck eye steak particularly precious. This steak is also rare, with only 2 chuck eye steaks in the entire animal. The exact count varies depending on how the butcher chooses to portion the chuck section, but regardless of the specific number, the limited quantity creates natural exclusivity that butchers appreciate. The chuck eye steak comes from the chuck primal, on the steer's shoulder, but it is cut only from the 5th rib, meaning that it shares a lot of characteristics with the ribeye and that there are only 2 chuck eye steaks on each steer. For this reason, chuck eye steaks can sometimes be difficult to find. 6. flavor profile that rivals premium cuts, while using muscles more frequently means cuts like chuck eyes can be a tad tougher than other parts of the animal. Peisker said it also has a major advantage. Deeper, richer flavor permeates the meat. This enhanced flavor profile represents a significant selling point for knowledgeable butchers who understand the relationship between muscle use and taste development. Chuck eye steak tends to have a particularly rich and beefy flavor and slightly tougher texture, coming, as it does, from a frequently used portion of the cow's body. The slight increase in texture complexity comes with the benefit of intensified beef flavor that many customers find superior to more tender but less flavorful alternatives. Like the ribeye, the chuck eye has a mild buttery flavor and a tender, juicy texture. It also has one of the highest fat ratios on this list of cheaper steak cuts. 7. Professional recognition through growing market demand. Recent market trends demonstrate increasing recognition of chuck eye steak's value proposition. Oak Barn Beef only cuts 2 chuck eye steaks per steer or heifer, but up until recently it was difficult to entice people to buy them, Klitz said. Since early 2024, though, she said they've been selling them much faster. I just think people are learning about it, and once they try it, they want a lot more, she said. This growing consumer awareness validates what butchers have known for years about chuck eye's exceptional quality-to-price ratio. Just because chuck eye steaks aren't quite so popular right now doesn't mean they won't be in the future. In fact, they're growing in popularity even within the last several months. 8. Butchery skill requirements create professional pride. The technical expertise required to properly extract chuck eye steaks adds to their appeal among skilled butchers. Resting between the rib section and chuck, this cut has the perfect balance of tenderness and flavor and requires some extra work for our butchers to remove. This additional effort creates a sense of craftsmanship satisfaction that many butchers find rewarding. By practicing seam butchery, we're able to extract dozens of delicious cuts that a commodity processing plant would turn into ground beef or offer as part of a larger cut. The ability to identify and extract these specialized cuts demonstrates professional expertise that separates skilled butchers from basic meat processing operations. 9. Versatility appeals to professional standards. Chuck eye steaks are very well-rounded pieces of meat in terms of all the qualities they possess. A very affordable cut of meat, it may never compete with a filet mignon or a prime ribeye, but it can still deliver on a lot of flavor. It can be grilled, pan-seared or ground up for a variety of texture and flavor outcomes that you can customize to your tastes. This versatility makes chuck eye steaks particularly attractive to butchers who appreciate cuts that work well across multiple cooking methods. The chuck eye is a delicious, no-fuss steak. Just season with salt and cook over high heat. This steak is best served rare to medium rare. The straightforward preparation requirements mean customers can achieve excellent results without complex techniques. 10. Historical significance in butcher culture. The chuck eye steak gained popularity in the United States during the 20th century, particularly as consumers sought more affordable alternatives to pricier cuts of beef. Its rich flavor and tenderness made it a favorite choice for budget-conscious cooks looking to create delicious meals without breaking the bank. The origins of chuck eye steak trace back to traditional butchering practices. Butchers often reserved this cut for themselves, appreciating its balance of fat and meat. The term, chuck, refers to the shoulder region, while eye describes the portion cut near the ribeye section. This historical context demonstrates the long-standing professional appreciation for this particular cut. 11. Modern market recognition validates butcher wisdom. Today, the chuck eye steak continues to be valued for its affordability and versatility in the kitchen. While it may not have the same level of recognition as its upscale counterpart, the ribeye, the chuck eye steak remains a popular choice for grilling, pan-searing, and braising. The increasing market recognition of chuck eye steak represents a validation of butchers' long-standing appreciation for this cut. So, chuck eye steak is ideal if you want a little slice of luxury without breaking the bank. Professional butchers who have championed this cut for decades are now seeing broader consumer acceptance of what they've always known to be true about its exceptional value proposition. The chuck eye steak's popularity among butchers stems from a perfect combination of professional pride, economic sensibility, and genuine quality. These meat professionals have long recognized that the best cuts aren't always the most expensive ones, and Chuck I Steak proves this philosophy in every perfectly marbled slice. What started as a butcher's secret has evolved into a growing market trend, validating decades of professional wisdom about this remarkable cut's true worth.